all the buzz and the noise around getting hurt, for a brief moment, it was like acceptance that I can't feel my legs. I could be in a wheelchair, but I'm all right with it. And at the time, the Enduro World Series was a ballot. I was like, why do it? The expense, I was like, well, why not? I'm still young enough, let's have a go, let's see how we get on. First one I got out to was Madeira in Portugal. I was thereabouts and I thought, you know what, I can move forward with this. And after that we went into Wicklow in Ireland. The crowds were absolutely insane, I enjoyed that, went on again. And then we're going to Millau in France for the next round. And we've been having a couple of little bits and pieces to sort with bikes, what have you. So my suspension went away and it actually came back the week we were going out. I'd probably put about 6 or 7 runs in that evening, try and get a nice feel for the suspension. This is something I'd like normally do over 2 or 3 rides, 2 or 3 different situation scenarios to like find an average. My wife was in the house at the time and she was like, you ought to come in for your tea, it's getting late. Then I was like, oh, I'll go and do one more. I set off down the trail, same as time I'd done it time and time before. And then this time, just wasn't right. It was just the impact. Started to get my breath back. It's like, I can't breathe. And it's not coming back. I go to get up and I can't move my legs. I can't feel my legs. Drummed up as much as I could to shout and nothing. And I thought I'd just give the light a bit of a wave.
In the past, Ben had sort of flashed me his phone light and then I flashed the kitchen light to let him know I'd seen him and, you know, say, good night, Ben, are you okay, or that sort of thing. Something just come to me and I got up and I looked through the window and we watched it surely for about 10 minutes.
And then the kitchen light flickered on and off. Thought they seen me. And then I heard my mum.
We went out onto the backyard and I just gathered all my breath and I really roared, Ben.
I just let him know. I just said, I said, Dad, I can't feel my legs. And then they got this, well, why aren't you on the phone? I said, I rang somebody's coming. So I rang again and there was nobody coming. By this time, I think my mum had grabbed over the phone and she was begging the police. She's like, somebody, just send somebody. They sent the mountain rescue at first. The mountain rescue, they were like, yeah, there's no way we're going to get him off this hill now. So they sent for the Coast Guard, I think St. Athens helicopter.
So Anne went up the hill, stood on the top of the hill, and Pat, my neighbour, was stood on the end of the hill. So what we wanted to make beacons across the hill. So when the ambulance or someone came, they could go straight to him.
The fog had mist had dropped down the hill, so there was nowhere the helicopter could pinpoint to land. So the helicopter had landed at the bottom of the hill. By this time, 7 hours had passed. I had four fractured vertebrae, T4, 5, 6, 7. I'd broken multiple ribs. By about a week in, I had like 90% lung capacity back. I got feeling back in my one leg, reduced sensation in the other, but I was at a stage where I know I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to be okay, I'm going to walk out of here. And so it just wasn't my time. I knew I could get back in a gym. I knew I could get fit. I've got the determination and the grit to go and get back there. But what I hadn't really anticipated was the moods and the swings and bits and pieces. That was a whole new battle, the mental demons getting through that. And the frustration, not being able to do stuff yourself. I needed a goal, I needed a focus there and then. I thought, right. There was a local race on at Eastridge at the end of the year. And with that, it got me up in the morning, got me out. And the mental side of things, they were getting easier. It was like, right, I can do this. What's next? What's progression? Where do I go in life now? What's for me? That was the biggest thing. It's like questions. It was like, do I want to be mountain biking? I enjoy the mountain biking. If I go on mountain bike again now, my mum and dad are going to think, look, I've had a warning. I don't want to take the piss with anyone. I've got a bit of friends and family down Tenby. and I've been down there, we've been for food and bits and pieces. I got talking to a family friend. They do this thing called Ironman. It's like a triathlon, but it's just not your normal triathlon. It's a pretty big deal. First of all, you've got to swim 2.4 miles in the sea. You've got to bike 112 miles. And then it's a marathon. And that's all got to be done within 17 hours. I said to a friend out mountain biking, I said, I fancy doing this. It's an Ironman, it's a triathlon, explained distance, and he said to me, there's no way you're going to do that, there's not a chance. You know what, dude? Watch your space, we're going to have a go. I joined the local tri club at Ludlow because I'd swum in school, but the swimming, they had to strip me right back to bare basics. So I had to learn to swim. Cycling, right, I can cycle, like a mountain bike. I've done a bit of road cycling, I was training for motocross, but there was the discipline side of it. And running, do that. Running for last orders at a bar, running away from a fight. That was about the only running I'd done since school. So it's about discipline and finding things, and it's the whole thing of there's 3 disciplines and you've got to like thread them all together. You're out on that run, you're out on the swim, you're out on the bike, you switch off from the world around you, and the whole time I was going through the process, I was improving my mental health. One message reached me more than other, and it was from a company called Can't Quit. A gentleman called Steve Aitchison. He said, I'm here for you if you need anything, just hit me up. Since then, he's been a long-term kit sponsor. He's been there if I needed anything. I didn't really know what was achievable, so I pulled 12 hours out the air. And then I had a chat with Steve about it, and I said, look, dude, you've been brilliant to me. How can we do this so I'm giving back a touch? He said, well, there's charities, bits and pieces, and I chose Wings for Life, and I thought we'll raise money for them. So then I pulled another target. They said, well, doing that, my mental health's getting better, and let's push myself to see if I can do it. I was absolutely gutted. People around me were like elated because I'd finished, but for me, I wanted that 12 hours. I went 12:05. I'd achieved in so many ways, but then that for me, that was like a failure, and that people around me should have been elated, but looking back now, that was a fair time. I think completing the Ironman was definitely drawing a line under the injury, how I felt about myself at the time, the mental battles, getting back to fitness, and that's all been put to bed. Now I can just focus on moving forward, and we'll have to see what happens next.